A confident and well-dressed group of 76ers making their way to the locker room earlier on, looking for success on their home court. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. What a fantastic look at the skyscrapers that make up the skyline here in the Cradle of Liberty. We're coming to you from Philadelphia. Good Friday night to you, sports fans. You've come to the right place. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll watch the Miami Heat in this one as they go up against the Philadelphia 76ers here in Wells Fargo Center. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is on our sideline. As we get a break in the action now, let's take a look at the East and how the teams are stacking up. You look at Miami. They've had a great season and will look to extend that into the playoffs. And, of course, there's the 76ers, 2 spots down.
And I think for Miami, so much has gone right for them this season. They've needed some breaks to go their way, and it feels like they've gotten them all. Now they're poised for success in the playoffs.
They look to be a dangerous team. I wouldn't have thought that a few months ago, but now I'm a believer.
And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Sixers coach Brett Brown helped build this team from ground zero. There were some lean years in Philly. Brown helped set the values and the culture for this team. Brown said, can you teach? Can you cultivate relationships? And do you bring energy? Those 3 qualities are what I've hoped to create throughout my tenure here. Kevin, mission accomplished.
He's done a terrific job. Thanks, David. Conference rivals in this one, Clark. Does that matter as much as people think, or is it just another game?
I still think it matters to the players. I mean, they're a little less emotional now, rivalries. They're not as heated, a little more practical. I think it's mostly about making the playoffs and where you're seated.
So here's Miami's starting group. They've got Jones. He's out there with Bam Adebayo. Robinson is out there with Jimmy Butler. And it's Nunn in at the point guard. And for the 76ers, Richardson and Harris filling out the wings. The talented combo up front, Horford and Embiid. And it's Milton in at the point.
How good is that? I mean, he can make a defender look foolish at times.
Poked loose, and it goes out of bounds. That one off Butler. Stolen away. Here's Nunn. Outside Butler. And Embiid with the block. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. Here's Adebayo. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well. And Bam Adebayo. He just plays with so much energy when he's on the floor.
Boy, he is ferocious on both ends of the floor. Great energy player who can finish in the paint with the best of them. Very quick on his feet and can cover a lot of ground for a player his size.
And that one misses.
And there's been some turnover in the Philly front office, but through it all, some bold moves.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, guys. First, the process, and we heard a lot about that as they were stockpiling draft picks and losing a lot of games. It was maybe the most drastic rebuild in NBA history, at least as I can recall. Then new leadership in Elton Brand, who's done an outstanding job pushing all their chips into the middle to go for it. Great credit to him for not sitting back. In both cases, a plan and a direction, and that's what you want from your organization.
On defense, Miami. Last time they met was in Miami.
And the last time these two met, they were able to get a big win because of that bench production. Second unit might be a factor in this one as well.
And you know what? If they run away with this game like they did in that one, I'd expect to see plenty of minutes again for the guys coming off the bench.
Here's Nunn, guarded by Horford. Nunn passes to Jones. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Robinson, and it's Miami with another.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. Richardson outside. And there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That is his first foul of the game. And here are the 76ers now. Looking for their first basket of the game. In the corner, Horford with it. 4 on the shot clock. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
And the jump shot of Al Horford, cash, money, all the time. Got to D him up or you pay the price.
Nunn passes to Butler. Here's the floater. Count that bucket.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Very high percentage so far, and if you want to start a game hot, that's the way to do it.
And it's Butler with the jam.
Boy, the tenacity, the power, the speed, all on display. Butler, a tough guy to guard when he's driving with that kind of force.
Got a piece of it. Here's Nunn, and the Heat get another bucket right there. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Heat.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnover.
Now here is Harris. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. The pass to Jones. Back to Robinson. Good ball movement here by the Heat. Passes it to Nunn. 6 to shoot. Good on the shot. Nunn's got 6.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here. And you look at Jimmy Butler. Goes about 6'8", about 230 pounds. Great size on the wing.
And he keeps himself in tip-top shape. His strength, one thing I'm not sure the casual fan even recognizes.
So both teams making some changes here.
And a moment now to look at the stats for Dragic. He's been more than solid over the last month, averaging 17 points per game, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. And you talk about guys who just have a nose for putting up points. He is one of them.
Yeah, he sure is, and he rarely has back-to-back bad games. If he has an off night, he usually follows that up with a big night.
Clark, you played the traditional power forward position in the NBA years you had back in the 80s at such a high level. Who's doing that right now?
I tell you what, the power forward position has changed so much, Kevin. These 4 men now are not really the enforcing type physical guys that we saw in the 80s and even 90s. They're agile, they're rim protectors, they're shot makers from deep, and guys like Anthony Davis and LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yes.
Man, I tell you, Anthony Davis goes to the top of my list in today's game.
Blake Griffin, another one with Detroit.
Yeah, good call.
And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time. And with this summer signing of Jimmy Butler, the Miami Heat demonstrating they still can lure star talent to South Beach.
The Heat back on the rise. The Butler signing sets the stage for the summer of 2021 when they should have the cap space to sign another max player.
Here's Thibault after the made shot from Jay Crowder. To stop the run, and that one's good. Thibault. Here's Iguodala. 1:10 left here in the first quarter. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen. Now that we have a second, let's take a quick peek at the rebounding numbers for the last handful of seasons for Adebayo.
On the boards, he's been a much bigger presence these last few years than he had been prior. And he can be counted on now to make an impact with his rebounding. And that's a product of all the work he's put in down low.
Here's Thibault. Kicked away. Dragic at the elbow. And Embiid with the block.
Look at this combination of reach and timing. It makes Embiid a superb shot blocker.
And the shot is good.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Hero fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Well, everything's coming too easily. I mean, at some point defensively, you have to take something away.
Robinson's checked in for Korkmaz. And Miami with a change here, too. Leonard, he's checked in for Olynyk. That's good from Hero. We've got 22 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Neto. 11 points for him in that last game against Detroit. Sinks that one from the post.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
From deep. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. Heat lead by 12. Live from Philadelphia, you're watching 2K Sports. The trade deadline is approaching, and Jimmy Butler talked about how it feels hearing your name in trade rumors.
Rumors are different for everybody, to tell you the truth. For me, I don't think about it because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. You go out there and control what you can control. You know, try to help your team win games, play to the best of your abilities. And if it just so happens you get traded, then you got to suit up and play for the next team.
Staying level-headed and ready for whatever's next. That's Jimmy's mindset, Greg, in a nutshell.
And it's fair to say that the level of professionalism and maturity he possesses is really impressive.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And for the Heat here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Yeah, and it's worked. They've got a clear edge and points in the paint. Now we'll see if they go with a more balanced attack or just keep on pounding it inside.
On the court for the Heat, we've got Hero. He's out there with Dragic. Iguodala out there with Myers Leonard. And it's Silva in at the 4 spot. The Heat leading by 12. Dragic left side. Shoots over Burks. And the Heat get another bucket right there.
A nice job taking what the defenders gave him. These guys need a gut check right now.
Well, that's exactly the kind of defense that's gotten them into the hole.
And it's the Heat on the break. The kick out to Dragic. Shoots over Burks. And it's Miami with another.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
Well, I'm going to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong pick he lays there.
Here's Thibault. Now here's Embiid. Shot clock at 5. Burks' shot is good.
You know, one thing you got to love about Embiid is how unselfish he is. I mean, he's pretty good at spotting open teammates.
And again, it's Goran Dragic. Dragic has got 6 here in this quarter.
Yep, you know, after a scoreless first period, he's really turned it up a notch, building some momentum.
And the veteran Goran Dragic still producing late in his career. Not the force he once was, but always a source of playmaking and scoring.
And the 76ers call time here. Well, you look at the career of Dragic, Greg, he's always been a scoring point guard.
Yeah, and as Dragic has aged, he has learned to lean more and more on his outside shot. Even when his first step and speed start to falter, he'll find ways to put up points.
And a new group getting ready for Miami. Well, you need good passing from your forwards as much as you do from your guard. These are small forwards leading the way in assists. Second, Jimmy Butler.
The passes we've seen some of these guys make from the wing, just outstanding, truly gifted distributors.
I tell you what, you could put the isolated cam on these guys and you would notice how flawlessly they execute those entry passes. They create so many easy baskets in the low post because of how on time and on target those feeds are.
The 76ers have missed both free throws they've attempted tonight.
And 75% on the season as a unit from the free throw line.
Guys, their free throw shooting has slipped a bit since last year, but not really to the point where they should be overly concerned about it.
One shot.
A lot of players keep track of their stats, their own team stats. But Clark, how much do guys pay attention to stats in game?
I have no idea. I mean, I know stat sheets are given to the coaches during the timeouts throughout the game, but I don't think players in general are able to monitor their numbers. Now, there are exceptions to every rule. I imagine every team may have a player or two that can chart his numbers during the game, but the vast majority are too occupied with playing the game to keep up with the stats.
And they're looking up at the scoreboard, too, aren't they? Because they give individual stats up on the board.
Oh, man. I tell you that, and then watching replays is one of my pet peeves with players. I mean, they should just focus on playing the game instead of always looking up to see if they fouled or not.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, Jimmy Butler has made several all-star teams, but he remains single-minded in pursuit of his bigger goal. Butler said, "I just want to win a championship. That's all that matters. I didn't do it in high school, didn't do it in college. If I don't win it here, then I'll go to the 50 and over league someday. But I got to win a championship at some stage." Kevin?
I like that attitude. Thank you, D.A. Here's Butler. Tobias Harris picking up that last basket. And it's sent back by Horford. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Horford. Jay Crowder's checked in for Robinson. Here's Butler, and it's blocked, but they recover it. 5 on the clock. Here's Nunn.
What a block from Harris. Terrific work there.
Puts one up from 19. And with that, the Heat lead is cut down to just 8 points on the bucket from Richardson. Here's Nunn. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Charlotte. That's a 2 from Butler. Hits the jumper in space. Butler's got 4 this quarter.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Richardson outside. Back to Harris. To the middle, and stolen by Butler. Here's Nunn, and there's a nice one-handed slam.
Boy, Butler doing a nice job taking advantage of the open man. Good quick pass there.
Knocked loose. Harris against Olynyk. Shoots from 12. Again, Philadelphia.
Well, he doesn't waste too many of those chances close to the basket.
Here's Nunn, guarded by Horford. Out of bounds, it'll be 76ers ball. Raul Netos checked in for the 76ers. Jones checked in for Miami. The 76ers trail by 10. Pass to Harris. Richardson outside. Back to Harris. Knocks it loose. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Nunn. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Nunn's got 10.
You got to be more careful around Butler. I mean, he's terrific at bouncing over the opposition and taking the ball away.
And that's on a bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. It'll count. Oh, and he just knocked down the pipe.
buzzer beater.
Resourceful move there, ending the period on a high note.
Nothing like knocking down that last possession of a quarter to give you a little feel-good momentum.
And so that's the end of the first half. It's the Heat. They're up by 10. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy, you have come a long way in this league. When you look at your career now versus when you came in, how different is it?
Much different. I think on the floor, I'm supposed to do a lot more on both ends of the floor. And off the floor, I think it's still the same. People recognize my hair.
Well, it is a unique style. Jimmy, thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, folks. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, and let's talk the first half. So it's Miami who's out on top at the half. They lead by 10. And over to Shaq. What'd you think about Miami?
They did an awesome-horrific job. That's right, Ernie. Awesome-horrific. That's awesome and terrific together. Anyway, they did an awesome-horrific job of limiting turnovers. They were almost mistake-free. Put you in the right frame of mind when you can play like that. As long as they keep protecting the ball in the next two quarters, they will protect the lead.
And Kenny, your take on Philadelphia.
Well, I think they could be way more physical than they have been in the first half. Their defense gave up way too many easy looks, and that kind of defense will turn to a loss any night.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take it down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. The 76ers trail by 10. The talented combo up front, Horford and Embiid. Richardson and Harris filling out the wings. And it's Milton in at the 1. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. Now here's Richardson. Really left alone that time. Harris has got it back down to a single-digit deficit for Philadelphia.
Nice touch from downtown. Tobias Harris continues to look better and better from this area.
And Jones with the stuff.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Well, I tell you what, they've got this team just a step away from being completely asleep.
Robinson with the block. Poked away. Pass to Nunn. Back to Butler. Shot clock at 6. Sinks the three-pointer. And now it's a 12-point Miami lead.
And Butler knows he's got the green light to shoot whenever he wants to, especially when it's a catch-and-shoot situation.
Richardson attacking. Oh, and a fast break for the Heat. And Adebayo throws it down.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
Get that weak stuff out of here around Butler. He's so quick off the ground to block shots.
Nunn passes to Robinson. He kicks to Butler. Uncovered. Good on the jump shot. Butler's got 5 points now in the quarter.
They are on fire right now. That's 4 straight makes.
Well, they say players are made in the summertime, and that's Jimmy Butler's favorite time of year. He calls it grimy season, gets out in the country, and puts in that work.
And the 76ers with some changes. Scotty's checked in for Horford. Robinson comes in for Tobias Harris. And it's Burks in for Shake Milton. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Richardson gets a wide open look. Drains the three-pointer. Richardson's got his second bucket tonight. And Greg, those summertime workouts for Butler, they are something.
I mean, they sure are. He calls them bandanas and buckets. Grows his hair out, 2-a-days, hot yoga, intentionally isolated from the hustle and bustle of the big city.
gives him an excuse to really just lock in.
Scott kicks to Burks. Down to 5 on the shot clock. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. Burks has got 8 points.
Yeah, that's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Dragic dishes to Iguodala. The pass to Butler. Over Robinson, and it's Miami with another.
You know, this is Butler's game. He's a polished mid-range shooter. Defensively, you've got to close on him fast.
Here's Thibault. Back to Embiid. Over Iguodala. That's good, and the Heat lead is cut down now to just 8 on the basket from Embiid.
And, you know, pressure doesn't get to Embiid. Nice job there recognizing the shot clock was winding down.
And the foul on Glenn Robinson. That is his first foul of the game. Korkmaz checked in for the 76ers. Raul Neto comes in for Robinson. Crowder, he's checked in for Miami. Hero comes in for Jimmy Butler. There's 1:38 left here in the third quarter. Here's Dragic and Embiid with the block. Clock at 6, and it's out of bounds to the Heat as Miami retains possession. Al Horford is checked in for Alec Burks. Heat also with the sub. Olynyk, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. 1:29 left to play in the third. Just 2 to shoot, and stolen by Horford. Here's Neto. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. Neto's got his second basket.
The adjustments they've made offensively, they're putting guys in a position now to succeed.
It's certainly been an impressive run. They finally found the right formula to break down the defense.
Here's Dragic from outside. Good on the triple. Dragic has got 9.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
Passes it to Embiid. Here's Neto. He's guarded by Dragic. And it goes down 2 points. 6 points for him.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Pass to Hero. Outside Crowder. 6 to shoot. Down low. Dragic. And he gets it to go. Dragic has got 5 points in the quarter.
And I respect the craftiness and savvy of Dragic. I mean, when he gets positioned deep inside, he finds a way to score.
Neto surveying the floor. Here's the 3. Another 3 for Philadelphia.
You know, when he gets rolling, guys, he can be an absolute handful to have to deal with. And right now, he is rolling strong.
And so it's Miami with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. And we'll be back with you shortly. Coach Brett Brown with some words for his players.
Take everything you got to come up with balls so that we win this game. Right? Anything loose, any rebounds, guards.
Demanding an all-out effort from his guys.
And Kevin, it's got to be a gang rebounding approach, just like he was talking about. They need every board they can get.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. We've got Hero. Robinson is out there with Dragic. Then it's Jay Crowder, and it's Olynyk in at the center, filling out the middle. Here's Harris. Good for another bucket. He's made half a dozen now, 6 for 8 on the night.
Tell you what, seems like everything he's putting up is finding the net, and right now, Harris is simply balling out.
Olynyk the pass to Dragic. Joe Olynyk. Outside Robinson. Tipped away. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Harris. And now a chance to see what's coming up for Philadelphia. On Saturday, they'll be taking on Victor Oladipo and the Indiana Pacers. Then on Monday, they'll go up against Bradley Beal and the Washington Wizards.
And for that Raptors game, they have that date circled. They love to compete, and they feel they can play very well against that group if they can execute.
Neto, the pass to Harris. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
Boy, that's a nice touch from Harris right there, showing you exactly how under control he is close to the basket.
Now a timeout called by Miami. Both teams deciding to change it up. It's a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Eric Spoelstra coaching the team during the break. His key message was, don't get comfortable. Those guys are going to come at us with everything they've got. Let's bring the intensity and stay focused on every possession. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. And Butler sends it back. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. There's the lob to the hoop. Embiid with the steal. It's Richardson on the wing, guarded by Robinson. And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
And that's right in his wheelhouse, looking to make an impact when it counts.
You know, they want the ball in his hands here because they trust him to hit all the big shots.
Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the 4th. Nunn passes to Jones. Robinson against Richardson. Outside Butler. Over Horford. And it's Miami with another.
Doesn't get much smoother than that in the pick and roll. Butler really creative in these situations, and he's hard to guard.
Hilton the pass to Harris. Ball's knocked loose. And just about 3 minutes through the 4th quarter here. Here's Butler. And Embiid with the block. Here's Richardson. Robinson with the block. And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. Adebayo against Embiid. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
They're trailing, but they are really battling, working the ball down low, getting good looks in the paint. The inside game much improved from where it was in the first half.
Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the 4th quarter. Nunn passes to Butler, and the 3-ball is good. Butler's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Not letting the defender change his shot. Butler showing you what concentration he has and focus to match.
And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. Here's Embiid. Again, Philadelphia.
Joel Embiid on top of things there, folks, recognizing a big possession and commanding the ball.
Nunn passes to Robinson. Dishes it to Butler. Over Harris. Shots good from Butler. Butler's got 22.
It's been like this all night for both teams. The offenses having their way.
Any lull in the action so far has been short-lived because there have been nothing but buckets in this one.
And the 76ers call time here. They're trailing by 6. A minute 50 left in the fourth quarter. We've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Jimmy Butler.
And his focus, guys, has been laser sharp, and his touch from the field, flawless. The teammates have worked hard to get him the ball in some good positions, and boy, has he rewarded them with a spectacular shooting performance. Great call to keep running all those sets for him.
.146 left to play here in the fourth. Milton the pass to Embiid. Fader on the way. Inside. Here's Horford, and Jones sends it back. Butler dishes to Robinson. Pass to Jones. Back to Robinson. To the paint. Here's Butler, and that's good. Robinson picking up the assist. Robinson's got his third assist on the night. And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Heat.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
Yeah, but they've been offensive defensively tonight because they've really forced the issue on D and come up with quite a few steals and deflections.
Here's Butler. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That one on Harris.
You know, Butler's a physical guy. I like his physicality. Somebody who doesn't back down at all. And because of that, he's excellent at getting to the line. Shoot 2.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss.
You know, Butler came into the NBA a tad under the radar. I mean, he was the last pick of the first round back in 2011. Didn't play much at first, but once he got his opportunity, his career took off and took off fast.
The Heat making a switch here. Dragic is checked in, and he ends up making the second, and that makes it a 7-point lead. 76ers have gone 6 of 9 on their field goal attempts since the start of the fourth quarter. To the inside. Here's Embiid. It drops. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
He just exudes a love of the game, guys. You can see it in everything he does. This guy lives and breathes the game.
And the Heat call time here. They lead by 5. 41 seconds left in the fourth. .41 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one, and they go to the intentional foul.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there.
And not as productive a trip as you would like, but they're still in a pretty comfortable position.
Taking the pass to Embiid. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
And you know Embiid wants the ball in these situations. He wants that shot. He wants to come through for his team.
The free throw drops for Embiid.
You know, Embiid has a very similar story to Tim Duncan's. I mean, the Cameroon native did not start playing basketball until later in life. Now he's one of the very best in the game.
Now a timeout called by Miami. They're up by 3. There's 25 seconds left to play in the final quarter. There's 25 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And an intentional foul right there.
Shoot 2.
He hits the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion.
And Dragic came into the NBA with something on his resume that not many other rookies have. He has a ring from winning the Slovenian Pro League the year before he came to America.
And the 76ers call time here. They're down by 4. 23 seconds left in the game. What do you think, guys?
Trying to stay alive, they've got to work quickly.
Yeah, they're going to draw up a play here, I think, to get a shot right off of the inbounds pass and not waste too much time at all.
No time to waste on this possession.
Got to go right up with it and then foul immediate.
Harris inside, defended by Jones. It's good! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
And you can't get a bigger bucket than that.
Well, that was 1-2. He wanted the ball. Nobody else was taking that shot.
And you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Sure. It's not over. The clock is as much a problem for them as the score is right now, so they've got to try to manage it.
2 seconds.
Drops the first one, and that will put them up by 2. He's off on the free throw, unable to get that second one to drop in. Here's Milton. Bullseye!
This team really feeds off of one another in terms of their energy.
Perhaps, Greg, some type of motivational speech at halftime got both of these teams fired up.
So it's the 76ers taking the win in a close game. That was a fun night of basketball and fabulous finish as they continued to wait out until the very last moment to seal it.
And there are so many times when you see these tight games won at home, that advantage of having that crowd behind you oftentimes is the ultimate X factor.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA.